My dear brothers and sisters, in the second reading, St. Peter says, "You are a chosen race, holy. You are set apart for Christ." And we believe in that. We are chosen by God. By baptism, we have become God's children. And we are really indeed blessed today to be here in this church, to worship and adore our Jesus Christ. As we are praying for all the churches in our Vicariate, first reading was very fitting. It was speaking about the construction of a Jerusalem temple. Solomon built the first temple for the Lord. And he says, this temple is very small. The whole world, earth and heaven cannot contain. But you want to dwell in this house. Therefore, this place is a holy place, says Solomon. And so, in the Jerusalem temple, they kept the Ark of the Covenant, which was a sign or symbol of God's presence in the midst of Israelites. There was manna, Aaron's rod, tablets of 10 commandments, 3 significant things in the life of Israelites. And when we come to the new temple, all our churches, we have the blessed tabernacle where Jesus is dwelling. Holy presence of God can be really experienced in every churches. Do we need to go to the church to pray? In the Gospel we heard what Samaritan woman was saying to Jesus. Our ancestors worshipped in this mountain, and the Jews believed that they have to go to Jerusalem to pray. And Jesus is telling, the hour is coming where people are going to worship God in spirit and truth. Spirit and truth. And when we think about Jebel Ali, I think we are not even able to get 360 people to attend a holy mass, worshipping in spirit and truth. Maybe experiencing God in many other space. So today, as we celebrate or remember the churches, we need to really see the presence, indwelling presence of God in every church. For us, especially in this Jebel Ali, St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church. We know the air is everywhere. Everywhere we breathe, we experience the air. But if you want to really know the presence of air, we have to stand under a fan. When we stand under the fan, we really experience the air, the breath, and we really experience it. So in every church, God is dwelling in a very special way. And so this is known as the sanctuary, from whereby the priest is celebrating the Eucharist or administer any sacrament. And so we also have in the center the tabernacle, again the sign of God's dwelling here in this church, experiencing God in a special way in the church. And now, why do we need to go to the church? Because, as I said, we find very difficult to find 360 people to come to the church to pray. Once, a priest went to a family. In the family, there was a person who was not at all going to the church and attending Mass. And it was a winter, there was a burning fire. And the priest took one of the wooden pieces away from that fire and kept aside. And as he kept aside, slowly the charcoal or the fire quenched, and the wood remained as it is. And then a priest explained, the faith grows if we are together, coming and praying and worshiping, or witnessing our Christ in our day-to-day life when we come to the church. So my dear brothers and sisters, just look amidst us. How many young people are here in our midst? No more youngsters are coming to the church. Our catechism children who are above 11 years old also are not coming to the church. And if parents are not bringing them, what will happen to them? Sometimes in the long run, we will have to close down the church. The faith do not grow up if we are not praying together, if we are not witnessing Christ through our day-to-day life. When we bring them for attending the Eucharist by catching their hand, when we bring them to receive confession, then the faith slowly grows. And then they also experience the dwelling presence of God in the church and in the sacraments. And so today, as we remember all the churches in the Vicariate, remember these churches are here in this place because there is faith. Faith which is very strong. And if there is no faithful, there is no meaning in having this church. And so the smallest form of the church, the miniature church, is our family. And in the family, we need to cultivate faith. We need to give credible witness to our faith so that our faith can be transferred to the coming generation. So let us give credible witness to the coming generation about faith, about our belief in Christ, about the indwelling presence of God here in this church and all the churches over all the world.